Good afternoon. This is E with an after-market wrap-up. It is Tuesday, the 10th of February, and this morning's trade, we thought the 62s could be hit, but we said let's use those for our resistance target, use those for stops, trying to come back towards the gap, play a regression trade. And the whole idea was to be conservative and expect the boys to come in and push back and try to uh, elevate the market by the end of the day. And a key rotation we felt would be the 52s to 55 range, as posted earlier. Thought that was a key pivot, and above that then we could go and obviously take out the overnight high, which was 59, and then run to 62s to 65s potentially, and thought by end of day the 68 would be a stretch. An ABCD move from yesterday targeted 67, so within a point or two of last week's high, and we felt that would be the closing swing, and anybody that was long would want to take profits. One of our traders had noticed a gap in this area here at 52, and one posted that in a room. I looked for it and I could clearly see it. I said, "You're right. Looks to me like that's a squeeze pivot, and as long as we're above that, the market is going to want to try to test higher." My guess is we will take out that 58 high and probably hit the 62s anyways. So we use this as the leverage point, and then this afternoon just elevated and kept on rising until we got late in the day and a profit-taking swing came in. I like the 30-minute chart. Notice that the rain line was underneath the lows, so I thought that would be supportive. Yesterday's low would also be support. When we got within a point or two of the gap, I suggested traders close out your trades in the 45 area. Anything below would be the good fortune part, and good possibility that we will bounce from there. Of course, at that time, no one knows whether we're going to get up and take out the high, but the idea was that we would certainly come back and retest 52s to 55s. My feeling was that we were going higher, and we were going to certainly test the overnight high and probably hit those stops and try to bang them to get up and test that 62 to 64 range, 65 range. And if you look at something like your 60-minute chart, you can see that how it digs in here and then starts to push up here above those 55s. It really wanted to come back up and test the double top, in our opinion. So here's your conservative exit in this 62 range to 65, and above that you're starting to push it, especially end of day. This was our key rotation, we thought, in the morning coming down. We had a little channel that we drew. We got sub the blue line, but felt that this was normal. If it could get above this and push and work through this 50 to 45 range and then get back up above the green and red and blue and pink lines, then the alligator could take hold. So we saw this as a bull flag. And then when we had the IB breakout, the real key was coming back in to test the IB breakout and hold those 52s, which we identified as a key rotation. So at that time we said use the 48s as your support. Let's think 52, 53. Make sure you're done if you're coming short side, and then careful of a squeeze from that squeeze pivot we had identified. So logical targets from the breakout at 54 really should become test 59s to say 64, 65. That's a normal rule of thumb trade for us. And on a Fibonacci basis, you could see different levels, 40s and 50s and 60s. These are ideas that we pay attention to all day long. Once we start to expand the range, the red line here or the blue line, we expect it to keep riding that Bollinger a bit until we get to the end of the day. So logical targets today really were the 62s, the 65s, and then anything above that, really good fortune in our opinion. In a bigger basis in this box, we felt today very strongly that this yesterday's low had held, kept us from penetrating backwards into this box, and that the predominant box for today would be this yellow box. And then depending on where we were able to close, could we hold the close? In other words, if we got above 52s and 55s, this line right here, could we get above it and then squeeze into the next box? So we feel we're testing the 68s, risk reward, warranted coming back, taking profits. So the next area of significance we're looking at, obviously the 72s to 75s, and that's why we've got that little highlight right here for now. Globex 30-minute chart we felt was the best one to use today. Showed us our support from yesterday, and we got up above this 52s to 54s. It was still squeezing by the end of the day. If you wanted to look at something tighter, you could use a 15. You could still see the same pattern on that, or even a 5 if you want to go a little bit deeper. And once this starts to work and hold and dig in, we're going to follow that blue line and the green and the red line. Same thing with our RTH 5-minute chart. Got above the rain line and alligator came into play. Especially in here, right at the end of lunch. This looked very bullish to us, as if we were going to, for sure, take that out. And then the key became how high will it run above that 59 area if we could take out the overnight high. We were working off the NQ. Pointed out to traders I thought 86 would be the resistance target. That's the doji bar's high right here, identified with that red arrow. And from that undercut low, the market is still bouncing, trying to get through and take that high out. So I'd said that 86 is where the boys are trying to get it. They came within 2 points of it. And that will happen a lot. You'll get very close to a target and then it may stall. So if you're looking at the NASDAQ for clues, 60-minute chart, clearly the chart in play above the pink line, the blue line, green and red line. And this was our premier chart for today, looking at that, along with the 240 chart. You can see from band to band, this idea plays out over and over and over in the markets. Z signing off for eminingwizard.com. Don't forget that special we've got running right now for anybody who wants to learn how we trade. Come take a look at our system, the one we use to help trade the market and take money with limited risk every day. Be well and catch you on the next one.